Well, welcome everyone to this Ignition webinar, and today I'd like to remind everyone of what the Relive mission is, which is to nourish the world in mind, body and spirit, and also to highlight that our 3-year vision for Relive Asia Pacific is to achieve sales per month of $1 million US. Our top priorities for 2014 continue to be to increase our key performance indicators through developing our brand awareness, which is supported through our social media strategy, increasing our online capabilities, and of course getting our business building distributors to focus on reaching director level where they are really starting to build an organization and starting to benefit from the overrides in our compensation plan. At this point, I would like to introduce our special guest who's going to be doing part 5 of our sponsoring distributors series, and that is our Presidential Silver Ambassador with over 20 years experience within the business, and that's Quila Buhler. Welcome, Quila.
Hi, Bernie. Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here. My name is Quila Buhler, and my husband Jim and I have been involved with Relive now for about 22.5 years, and I got great results on these products, and we were looking for a business, and when this business came along, we grabbed a hold of it, and we just really knew what we had. Within 5 years, we were earning a 6-figure income, and it's never looked back, and we've been able to build a multi-million-dollar business off our kitchen table, and we just love what we do. We didn't have to sacrifice our family. We were able to raise our children without any regrets, and I'll tell you what we love. Yes, the financial freedom, but also the time freedom. Just being able to do the things that we want when we want to do them. We don't have anyone else telling us what we need to do and where we need to be, and oh my gosh, it's just been a true blessing, and I'm super excited to be able to share part 5 of this 7-step process. So Bernie, we're going to go right on down to overcoming objections, and as we get started, I think you need to know that objections are really a great thing. A lot of people will clam up when someone asks them a question, and you need to realize that it really means that your prospect is listening to you. And you know, what we're going to talk a little bit about is when someone asks you a question, you always want to repeat back to them what they're saying, because you want to make sure you're hearing what they're saying to you, because sometimes you can be saying something and they're going to be hearing something completely different. So it's always nice to know, and you kind of want to, you know, probe a little. You don't want to be intimidated by objections. Don't react. You always want to listen to the comment and then respond accordingly. I find that whenever I react, I usually get in trouble, and truly an objection is really a request for more information. And on the next slide, we talk about you want to flesh out all the objections. Have you ever felt sometimes that maybe when you're doing a presentation that perhaps you know when someone's really listening to what you're saying and when they don't? Their eyes are glazed over, maybe they're tapping their pencil, or maybe they're kind of looking elsewhere. And I'm just going to tell you there's a couple things that I'll do with that. When people are doing that, a lot of the time it means that they're thinking about other objections, they're thinking about other questions about what you're talking about. And I have no problem at all by either closing my laptop, my iPad, or my presentation booklet, and I will just say something like, you know, let's make sure that we get your questions answered so that you can kind of hear what I'm saying here, because, and then I'll just tell them, you're probably wondering about this, or maybe I'll bring up an objection that maybe I think that they're wondering about. And when you are prompted with that, it means that you're usually right. And I'll say, you know, you're probably wondering, you know, how this business compensation works. You might be wondering, how am I going to earn income? Let me just share that with you real quick, and then, because I want to make sure that they hear me. Now, there are other times when I've had people that are sitting there, and maybe I know that they're listening, but maybe I feel like they're wasting my time, and I'm just going to tell them, and I'm going to close that laptop, and I'm just going to say, you know what? This might not be for you, you know, because timing is everything, and I want to make sure that I didn't misunderstand you because I thought that you were here to learn more about this business opportunity. So I'm just very upfront with people and in a nice way, but this is also a business, and when people recognize that you're not begging them to listen to you, you're going to have a lot more of a respect that way. Okay, you don't ever want to argue with people. When that happens, contention, nobody wins. You just don't. Everyone's going to have an opinion, and you know, I appreciate what they have, but I know what we have as well. But don't get into that argument. You just want to go back and highlight the benefits of our business opportunity and or the product. And so the other thing is that you're going to have people that will ask, how much does it cost? You know, how long does it take for the products to be delivered? Those are really signals that they want to learn. They want to learn more about what this is. You're going to hear a lot of objections. And as we go on to this next slide, we have several that we're going to talk about. And one of the ones that you might get a lot is, you know, they'll ask you, is this network marketing? And my response is, absolutely, do you have any experience? And a lot of people will go, well, you know, I used to be with this company or that company, and I'll say, great. I go, well, you must have loved the form of distribution. You just didn't find the right company. Then let me show you how this works. And I go right into it, and they're like, oh, okay. Or some people will say, well, you know, I've tried network marketing before, and I failed. And again, I will tell them, you know what, you didn't have the right products, you didn't have the right company, and you didn't have the right support team. And here's how it works. Let me show you. So I just go right into it. I don't go, oh, you know, I just say, you guys need to just stand firm, and when someone says, oh, you know, well, I've done network marketing before, or is this network marketing, the response back at them is always, absolutely, do you have any experience? And then when they say, I've done this before, I always go back to and say, that is great. You love what this is, you just didn't have the right company. And you'd be amazed how people, their shoulders will kind of relax a little bit, and they feel better. You'll have people that will ask you, you know, well, my friends told me that these things never work. Let me give you my own experience. When Jim and I got involved in Relive, I got great results on these products, and my parents couldn't deny them. But I remember that about 3 years into the business, we were earning about $60,000 a year. This is way back in the early 90s. And my dad came to me and he said, when Relive gets to be 5 years old, then you've really got something. All right, well, 5 years old came, and we were making, at that time, it was, let's see, we were 3 years into the business. We had just gotten started, and he goes, when it gets to be 5 years old, you really got something. And at that time, we were doing quite well. And then my dad goes, well, when it gets to be 10 years old, then you really got something. And by that time, we were in a very solid six-figure income. And, you know, he knew what we were doing. And then he goes, well, when it gets to be 20 years old, then you really got some. I'm like, Dad, I'm like, come on. You know, the thing is that we have a lot of people that will, you know, share with you and give you information, but does that necessarily mean that it's not true? Let me give you some example. Have you ever gone to a restaurant where maybe you didn't like the food? Of course we do, but we still go out to eat at restaurants. It doesn't mean that we stop. You know, you're going to find things with individuals that people have been involved in, and whether the product, you know, wasn't a valid product or whatever it might be. But the fact is that Relive does work. And if you go into, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal, which is a publication that we have here in the States, and direct sales companies generated over $167 billion in sales each year worldwide. Direct sales accounted for 89.7 million people globally in the last year. More than 500,000 people each month say yes to a direct selling opportunity. Online businesses are growing at a rate far beyond traditional retail. And that was out of the Direct Selling News last month in June of 2014. So, you know, the fact is that we know what we have works, and you just can't buy into that. What I found, it's kind of like, you know, a crab trying to get out of a pot. They want to pull the other crabs down that are trying to get out of the water. So you'll find that as you want to move forward in your life, you're going to have everybody else that's going to rain on your parade, and you just need to choose what you want to listen to. When someone tells you, I don't have the time, my response back to them is, you know what, you need to make the time. Because if you don't change what you're doing right now, nothing in your life will ever change. There's never enough time. There's not enough time. We just need to choose what we want to do with it. Everyone has 24 hours in the day. You know, you have to ask yourself, what are you doing today that in 5, 10, 20 years, you could be earning a very solid, six-figure income, because just by doing a little bit each day, that business will grow. It goes back to, would I rather have, $1 million, or would I rather have a penny compounded over 30 days? I'll take the penny, thank you. It's worth far more. So just doing a little bit each day is amazing. When someone asks you, is this a pyramid scheme? When someone, they'll ask me, they'll go, Quila, is this a pyramid scheme? And I'll go back to them and I'll say, seriously, do you really think I'd be involved with something like that? And they go, good grief. And then they'll go, well, no. And I'll say, well, that's not even a real question, so let's just move on. And they'll go, oh, because they'll know that it makes me angry that they would think that I would be involved with a pyramid scheme. And I'll go back to them and I'll say, pyramids are illegal. Do you think I'd be involved with that? The other thing is, just to have some fun, which I have done before, is someone that they come to me and they've asked me, well, is this one of those pyramid schemes? And I'll look at them, I'll go, absolutely, and we're going to make millions of dollars. All you're going to do is be in jail for about 5 years, but you'll make tons of money. Does that sound good to you? And their face goes white. And then I go, are you serious? Those are illegal. So anyway, I like that. You guys, obviously, if you can tell, I like to have fun, but I also don't mess around with this. I mean, objections are fine, but you need to have your feet planted and know what you have, and if you don't, you want to have that support team with you. When someone says, I can't afford it, or if they say that they're not able to afford it, and I'll say, well, you can't afford not to, because if you don't, there's a couple things. If they say they can't afford the product, or if they say it's too much, and I'll say, well, compared to what? I mean, the fact is that if you don't do something with your health now, you're going to pay now or pay later. So, by getting on these products, it's just many individuals over the years are showing that, they go to the doctor less. For our own family, my kids only went to the doctor once a year for well baby checks. We saved thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of money from doctor visits and prescriptions. No one in our family. I have children that are 26 and 28. None of us are on any type of prescription. No one's had a cavity in 22.5 years, so how can you not afford to be on these products? How can you not afford to get into the business? For us, we needed these products. We came in at the highest profit level, and it was something that we couldn't afford, but we couldn't afford not to be on it. And then we were able to build a business. So it's just one of those things that it's all in the eye of what you're looking at. Let's see. There's another question, and that is, hold on just a second. Oh, I don't want to sell anything. And I always tell people that I don't like to sell anything either, but the fact is that do you get paid when you tell someone that you just saw a great movie, or maybe you like the ice cream shop down the street, that they have great, ice cream? No, that's like advertising. And what we're doing is we're going out and sharing from our heart. And I always tell people I have a really hard time when I've got people that have experience in sales that come in, because what they honestly want to do is push these people to do things that they don't want to do. And what we want to do is we want to meet their needs. So when you're meeting a need, you're not selling. And I also tell people that you got to come from your heart, because if you go and try to be something that you're not, people can, dogs smell fear, and people know when they're being sold, and they do not want to be sold. They want to know that you care about them. So when people say I don't want to sell anything, I'm like, me neither. I mean, we're just going out and sharing what we have. Some other objections that you might hear is, well, how long have you been doing this, or how long have you been in Relive? If you guys are listening to me, you're going to think it's so easy that I can just spit out that I've been involved with Relive for 22.5 years. But don't forget, I had to start out just like you. I put my name on an application, I signed it, and when people would ask me that question, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, 20 years, you guys, it doesn't matter. What people are going to hear is the passion in your voice. And if you're brand new, you can say, you know what, I've been involved with this for 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever it is. And you can just say, I have absolutely loved these products. There's a phenomenal business opportunity. I have met so many people. And if you haven't met those people, you need to. Get your support team to introduce you to them. But I've met, a lot of people that have made an incredible amount of income, and I'm going to build a business. And I knew that this is something that you'd want to know about. And you could just say, I've done my research, I like what I see, whatever feels the best for you. But you need to be able to talk to them. The next question is, well, how would I build this business? That's an objection that you're going to get from people. And what I always tell people is, here's the thing. You're going to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So this is your business, and I'm going to match your efforts. I'm going to make myself available to help you. We'll be joined by the hip, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to work just as hard as you are, but not any harder. And what will happen here is that just like if you were going to go and buy a McDonald's, you'd have to learn how to do the deep fat fryer, you'd have to learn how to run the cash register, all of that. You know what, I can show you how to do this, and it's very, very simple. But if you go off and start doing all these other things, you're giving me permission to go and help someone else. And I'm not going to put it on a big banner that, you know, you're way off track, but you're just giving me permission to help someone else. And then when you come back to tell me, gee, you know, maybe this isn't working, I'll probably agree, and then we'll get back on track. But you've got me 100%. I will help you. And again, I will not do it for you, but I will be right there with you to show you how to do this. So, and you know what? I'm just going to tell you right now, if you're going to tell someone that, you better make sure that you come through. Have that personal integrity. You don't tell them that just to get them involved in Relive. You tell them that because it's the truth. If you're going to be a sponsor, be a sponsor. Don't go out and sponsor these people and then when they're trying to, you know, legitimately ask for your help, not be available. So you want to be a sponsor. You're going to get a person that will ask you, well, you know, can you guarantee me that I can make any money? And I just find that that's really kind of an interesting question. How can we guarantee anything like that? You know, the fact is that if you're out doing this business, it's a proven fact. This income in Relive is extremely predictable. You have a compensation plan that shows you exactly how we earn income, how to do it, and your job is to go out and talk to people and get appointments, get people on the product, show them the business opportunity, and the more that you do that, the more success and guarantee that you're going to have. But you know what? For someone to say, guarantee you anything, I can't do that. But what I can guarantee you is that if we go out and work together and we talk to, you know, people and we're doing this with a full-time effort, you're going to have some success here. And again, when someone says that this is expensive, my answer is, compared to what? I mean, for us, this was a bargain. Before I got involved with Relive, I was taking 10 times the amount of what was in these products. We had spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of money that we didn't have because I was trying to get better. So when Relive came along, in fact, I was furious with my doctor because I thought, seriously, this is going to help me? And so I think it's all how we view it. And remember, if you're having flags come up where people are thinking that, you know, this is expensive and you know, I don't know if I can afford it, blah, 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 I'm going to tell you right now, that's because of how you're presenting it. If you're coming along thinking and telling people and giving those signals that this is expensive, or if you believe it, that's what you're portraying. So this is a bargain. Know what you have. If you went out and tried to get all of these different the ingredients separately, you don't even come close. So, you know, Relive's done all the shopping. They put everything in one product. It's all perfectly blended. All we do is we go out and share it with people. And then you're going to have people that will come up and say, well, let me think about it. And think about what? I mean, you know, when I go through a presentation, I'll always you know, let people know, I know that, you know, we've discussed a lot of things, and what interests you? Is it the products, the business, or both? And if someone says, let me think about it, and I'll say, oh, well, is it, again, thinking more about the products, the business, is there a few questions that maybe I might not have answered? And what you'll usually find is that people will say, well, yeah, now I had a question about this. You just want to make sure that you get people's questions answered. I find that sometimes when we book an appointment super quick, and we rush people through, like, you know, like they're just a head of cattle or something, they feel that way. I want to make sure that people's questions get answered. I always allot an extra half-hour space between that appointment and another one, so if one runs over, I can go ahead and answer those questions. Just remember, you are going to have objections. You'll have them, but you just need to answer from your heart. Don't let anyone intimidate you to make you feel less than what you have. When you really know what you have. And if you have to go out and, I don't know, if you need to, take the amount of product that you need to get those results so that you know what you have here. But once you do, there's not going to be anyone on this planet that can tell you anything less than what you know that you have as an incredible business opportunity with Relive because of these products. This is a two-wheel bicycle. You've got an incredible product and you've got a great business opportunity, and they go hand in hand. Some people look at Relive through the business, and we've got a great product that backs that up. Some people look at the product, and we've got a great business that backs that up. You've got both ends of the wheel. So go out and talk to people with confidence. And remember that this process is a journey, and you literally are just guiding your guests along that path to success. So it has been, truly my pleasure to be able to share this with you. I love objections. Throw them at me because they're fun. And I just think that it's very, very exciting. And just wanted to share one more thing with you from Helen Keller. She says, face your deficiencies and acknowledge them, but do not let them master you. And how true that is. So this has just been a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in New Zealand and in Australia soon.
Well, thank you, Quila. That was fantastic. I learned so much out of that today, and I really appreciate, as I know our distributors very much will appreciate, listening to you and helping them with this part of our series of sponsoring distributors about overcoming objections. What you shared with us today was really great because it comes from your experience, and I think that's invaluable for our distributors when they are out there in the field. And again, I really want to thank you so much. And one of the things I do want to do is, I know we spoke about this on the last webinar, but we have our leadership camps coming up in Asia Pacific. And again, I just ask you to share with distributors as to why you think they should be striving for themselves and the members of their team to qualify to attend these leadership camps. Could you share your views on that for us?
The leadership camps are, you might not think that you need to go to something like that. Maybe you think that you're already, excited and you know that you're committed. But there's something, I don't know if the word's magical or special, that happens when you're around a whole bunch of Relive people. Because when you're at those camps, you're going to find that that's going to be your core group. Those are going to be the friends that you grow up in Relive with, and you'll move up through those ranks in the direct levels together because you're all focused on those same goals, and you're able to meet friends that are going to be there to help you cross line, up line, down line, sideline, whatever it might be. But you go to those and you get to spend time with the corporate leaders, you get to spend time with ambassadors and one-on-one, and you really get an insight of what this is all about. I mean, there is so much to Relive that when you go to these camps, it's just a real intimate time to get to know those individuals better. And what it does is it puts your business, light years ahead. I had 3 individuals that went to a senior director workshop that they had in the States, and they made senior director, and it was in September, and 6 months later, all 3 of them went ambassador, and that's what it did. And prior to that, I mean, yes, they were senior directors, but their business really, it was okay. They went to that and they were on fire, and within 6 months they had reached ambassador. So, I mean, I know from reality and not theory that these camps are important to building your business.
And thanks for that, Quila. And again, it comes from your experience. And again, I just ask you to share, because we've actually got a national conference coming up in the Philippines, in Australia, and in New Zealand. And of course, you're going to be our special guest in the Australia and New Zealand conferences, and everyone's really looking forward to seeing you there. And again, if you could use your experience and share, why should people come themselves to conference, but also get as many people, and that's people in the team and brand new people, along to conference? What else is there in it for them and their people?
Well, I can tell you that if I would not have gone to my first conference, and that was in the spring of 1992, I would not be here today. I loved Relive, and when we first got, I loved the product. I mean, I thought, regardless of all this, I would, be on the product. And when I first got involved with Relive, I only wanted to, just provide for my own product and earn some money so that if I didn't go to the grocery store to buy groceries, I wouldn't have a heart attack. That's all I was looking for. I I just saw this as a way to retail and make, maybe $1,000 a month. I didn't know that there was all of this other stuff that was available in Relive. I didn't understand that there were all these, this presidential, this road to presidential. I didn't know. I went to conference with my arms folded. I told my husband if anybody talked to me, and sang songs and hold hands, I was gonna leave. And he said, all right, fine. And I had my arms folded. And by the end of the conference, my heart was touched, and I was in because I thought, I met hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people who were sharing their stories with me. I got all their connections, and as you hear what this company has done for individuals from the product side and a business side, and how it's rescued individuals from businesses, in their lives. They were going to lose everything. You see how Rico's come to the rescue. You realize what you have. What you have is a gift. And Relive then goes from your head to your heart. It really, it pops in there, and this is something that you realize, yeah, I have an obligation to share this. I mean, everyone that is on this planet needs to hear about Relive, and they will hear about it, and you just need to decide whether it's going to be from you or someone else. And when you go to a conference, you come out of there and you're ready to go. I see that when people that I have tell me, oh yeah, sorry, but I can't go and all that. The fact is that they fall behind in the business, and everybody else passes them up. So you just have to figure out, what is it? What is your purpose for being involved? And whether you are building, is it a business? Is it an interest? Is it a hobby? I say regardless what it is, you need to go to conference, because if it's a hobby, you're going to come out having a business. And if it's an interest, you're going to have a business. When we come out of conference, I mean, our wheels are turning, and we can hardly wait to go out and talk to more people. I find that so many people, their sponsoring numbers are up. They'll call people, at the airport. Man, you can't believe I just heard. And it's the passion that we have that we come out. It's the belief that we have. And it's an amazing experience. So leaders go to conference. If you want to build business, you need to make that investment in yourself. This is not a rah-rah session. It's not where you're just going to go there and be motivated. You're going to hear it. I can tell you from what's going on in the Philippines as well. But, I'm going to give you my experiences of true life experiences of the things that I've experienced and gone through. And you're going to be able to know that, hey, if she can do it, I can do it. And that is what conference gives you.
Well, again, thank you, Quila. That's really good. And I would like to say and add to that is that please, to people who are considering coming to conference, get online and book your tickets, or get on the phone and book your tickets, get everyone in your teams, and with everything that Quila's just said, take that on board, because it will change your life. And conference is coming up very soon, so take action now and do something about it. And I'd again like to remind everyone that each week's webinar is advised via email and Facebook every Monday. I'd like to again thank Quila Buhler for your experience and for everything you shared with us today, Quila. Thank you so much for that. And I would like to say to everybody, get out there, sponsor, promote, and advance, and ignite your business. And thank you, everybody.